All right, guys, welcome to my channel today. Today we're going to take a look at the TriHauler Pro here. This thing's got a 1,000-watt motor on it. This thing's got a torque sensor, not a canvas. We got directionals on this thing. We got a horn. We got everything going for this thing. So you're going to want to check this thing out. We're going to take a look at it. So let's get at it. All right, guys, here's the HJM TriHauler. My wife says I look like a stormtrooper on this thing. This is a 38-tooth crank on this. This plate is on both sides. It gives you access to the inside. These are 170 crank arms, and these are aluminum alloy pedals. This tube here is a good place to put a second battery, which they have a second battery. You get a 1,000-watt motor that peaks at 1270 with 90 newton meters of torque. You've got a 6-speed on this, not a 7, unfortunately. The fenders on this thing are aluminum, and you've got a super rigid frame that's bolted to that basket so they do not rattle all over the place. You have Kenner tires on this that are 20 by 4s. You've got hydraulic calipers on this thing, and the rotor is only 160, but because you have 3 of them, that's all you need. The basket on this thing is made out of aluminum. I was surprised. It's really light. So this is the right-hand directional. You've also got a directional on this, running light and stop light. This is your left-hand directional also. This bag was extra. I bought it in addition to the bike. You've got your brakes on this side again. Like I said, there's 3 of them, so that's why they go smaller. You got a trailer hitch right here, and you've got a little plate holder here for whatever reason. You've got a differential right here that's got a sprocket on it. Now I'll show you where the charging port is. It's strange. I couldn't find it at first. They put it down here. I don't know why, but I really was like, wow, where's the charging port? Here's the other side of that differential. So your motor's here with the gear. I could increase that gear maybe. Because the battery's in the tube, they put this extra piece of aluminum here to make it stronger. This is all aluminum, by the way, at the frame. The seat on this thing's not bad. It's a pretty comfortable seat. You got adjustments here to make it go up and down, obviously. And this is the lock for the battery. You have to turn this. You also have to turn this thing on the bottom too to have the battery come out. You've got the wires down in the frame, which is nice, so you don't have to have them all over the place. You've got your adjustment on this side. You've got aluminum fenders on this also. Again, up in the front, you've got your hydraulic calipers and your 160 rotor that I might change to a 180. You've got another aluminum basket on the front. You have to put it on yourself, which is easy. Your light is here. This is the light that's sufficient for the bike. You could put it on the rack, but then if you turn it, it will not turn. So I chose to leave it down there, and that's why I did that. You've got an adjustment here to make it go back and forth. I actually turn this thing all the way around. You can make your handlebars go this way and that way also. And there's zoom, so good quality stuff on this. If you try to adjust this, don't forget to undo that. These mirrors did not come with the bike, but they are from HJM, and I thought they went well with it. You have Gemma brakes on this thing, and they have the parking brakes on both levers, and they're very easily, engaged and disengaged, so that's nice there. Also, the wires on this thing are hidden in the frame like on the other side, so it's very nicely done, and they did the wire management nicely on it. You have your lockout on this side, and you've got your travel up here. You also have Kenner tires on the front of this, and this is a 24 by 4 inch tire. The spokes on this are all stainless steel. You've got a through axle on this, and the rims are nicely done with the white also, which is kind of unique to the bike. You've got a 20 amp hour battery in it with LG cells. And you've got nice grips on this, fake leather, and they're very nice. You've got your little palm rest on it. I like that. It's very comfortable. And you've got a thumb throttle on this. It also has a 6-speed Shinamo shifter on it. And again, it's typical up, gear, down, so on and so forth, easily done. This is a nice color display I'll show you. This is your keypad that you do all your adjustments with on the bike, lights, so on and so forth. You've got directionals on this thing, and you've got a horn. And there's the grip on the other side, the same. Okay, now you've got a Shinamo derailleur on this thing. It's a 6-speed. Look at the size of the bolts in this thing. It's very nicely done. It looks pretty good. I like it. You've got a place to put the battery right here. This is a port to put a second battery that is available from them, and I believe it's the same 20 amp hour battery that mounts on the post there. The display, here it is. Nice color display. You've got your battery up here. You've got your speed there. You've got your gauge that shows the amount of power you're using when you're doing it. And you've got your passes right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again, down from there back to put it on, and make sure you put this thing at 0 when you're not using it, so you don't have a problem. You got your trip here, you've got your max speed, and you've got your average speed. So it's got everything on it that you want. You also have your light indicator when the lights are on, and it dims. So very nice gauge, guys. Here's the directionals on the back. I want to show you. You can't really see the right light on, but you can on this one. So it just doesn't flash. That's the running light on it, and now that's with the brake light on it. Out on the TriHauler, we're going to give this thing a run to see how it is. I've already been out riding this thing. In fact, we got 24 miles on this thing, but this thing goes along pretty darn good. We're at almost 24 miles an hour right now. This thing is a very stable trike. It takes a lot to get the rear wheel to come up, let's put it that way. This thing is a big trike, without a doubt. There's you're not going to put somebody, I think it says 5 foot is the minimum size person or something like that. And I truly believe that, because my seat's all the way down right now. I do have a suspension seat post on it, but the seat's all the way down, and I'm at full leg extension, so if that gives you any idea. All right, 14 miles an hour, I've got pedal. So at 12 miles an hour, I've got pedal in 6th gear. It stays right around this area in pedal assist 1. If I knock it up, let's see what the pedal assist 2 gets us. Pedal assist 2 seems to be getting me, seems about the same. Yeah, a little bit more. We're at 15 miles an hour, 16, and I'm pretty much ghost pedal, guys. So that's it on this, with the gears that are on this thing. So I am probably going to increase the crank on this thing. Here we are going around a corner here, and you don't have to really worry about it. I mean, I'm going to lean, of course, but it's a trike, so you want to lean. But I'm doing 22 miles an hour in a corner. And we got directionals on this thing, like I said, guys. So I've also added some more to it. As you can see down here, I've got directional indicators. But it comes with rear directionals, and I now have front and rear directionals. We've done quite a few things to this bike, and we'll show you that in some other episodes. So this bike is a really great trike. I mean, I highly recommend this trike. It was recommended to me, and I recommend it to anybody else that wants to buy one of these things too. This, you know, I guess, you know, it's not terribly expensive, but it's not cheap trike either. But I think it's well worth the money. I mean, here we are, we're doing 24.5 miles an hour down here, hitting bumps, and this thing's going right along. So, going into a corner now, and no problem at 24.5 miles an hour. Like I said, this bike does not worry me at all. I do have this handlebar piece. I turn it around to make the handlebars come back to me even closer, because I like to sit up upright. And with the adjustments that this thing has, which is awesome, you can pretty much put these wherever you want them. It's well thought out. The bike was well thought out. There I go again with bike, but they actually have bike on the side. So it's a trike. Bike has 2, but they do have HJM bike on the side. So, well, we're running this thing on throttle, and this thing's going right along here. 25, 26 on the speedometer. 25, 25, 24, 25, so it's pretty darn close. But I did have to adjust the wheel size down. It was set at 28, which was kind of odd. So I did adjust it down to 23. So it's got 24-inch tire on the front, 20s on the back. 23 seemed to be about the proper place to put it with the GPS, but it was a little under, so I did move it up to the 24, and it's a little over, but I'd rather have it a little over than a little under, if that makes any sense at all. We're going to put this thing up a 13-degree hill here, throttle. We're doing 11.5 miles an hour up the hill as it starts to level out to about 12 degrees, 10 degrees, and we pretty much come up the hill now. So if you guys are looking for a zippy trike, this is the one to get. I have not found too many things wrong with this trike. You know, I consider the fact that it only has a 6-speed on it, and the gears are totally wrong. It's great for slower driving. Like I said, what is it? I'm just 16. So I am going to change the crank on this bike, but that's totally up to you. I don't know what you're buying this bike for, but if you're buying this one with a 1,000-watt motor on it, you're probably going to want to be able to pedal this thing faster. Because you're going to be able to go faster. So I don't know why they'd put a 1,000-watt motor on this thing, unless they're figuring using this thing as a work vehicle. You know, and this thing could be used as a work vehicle without a doubt. I could see a lot of businesses that could use something like this. All right, so what else do we try here? So we're going to go out up to 24 miles an hour, 24 and a half. Well, let's hit the brakes. Okay, this thing locks them right up with those nice hydraulic brakes. Considering this thing is, I believe, 106 pounds, and with all the stuff that I put on this thing, it's probably pushing up 120 anyways. Plus me on it. The throttle doesn't knock you off the bike, which is nice. I did put a bell on this thing for the rail trails, because I think a bell's nicer than a horn. Again, another 12-degree hill here. And I know what these hills are because I actually checked them with my gauge on my phone. So this thing does have a little bit of noise coming from the rear end here. That you can hear that noise when I'm throttling along there. Don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to look into it. I think it's just something loose. But notice there's no fender rattle noise or anything on this because the fenders are nice and secure on it, unlike a lot of other ones. All right, guys, thought I'd do a little drone footage here so you can see what this thing looks like going down the road. And this thing is a very nice bike. So if you look at the size of this trike, to me, it's not much wider than I am. So if I'm going to go down the road with this thing, that's why I put all this you know, the lights on it, the reflective triangles and stuff. I want to be seen on the road, but I should be able to go down that road, no problem, because the bike, like I said, is no wider than me. So here's it from the side. This is what I look like, and I'll give you one more shot on this bike, and then we will wrap it up. So guys, that's going to wrap up the TriHauler Pro today. Hope you enjoyed this. This thing is an awesome trike. We are going to be doing some rides on it. We're going to be doing some stuff to this thing. We're going to be putting a second battery in this thing. You can get a second battery from the factory, but it costs a lot of money. So I'm a cheap guy. I'm going to do it a different way. It's still going to have the port in it, but it's a different port. So you're going to want to catch this. We're also going to add some lights to this thing. I'm going to get some directionals up the front. All kinds of stuff we're doing to this to make it safe for the road. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe on the way out so you can catch all my content. Thanks guys for watching.